This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen The Fabulous Baron Munchausen, another Czech fantasy adventure from Karel Zeman. Released back in 1962, the film follows the titular Baron, who lives on the moon and is visited one day by a scientist and cosmonaut named Tonic. Believing Tonic to be a native moon man, the rather eccentric Baron leads him down to Earth to show him around the place. Though from the outset of their journey, things already begin to escalate. Visiting the Sultan, the two learn of a kidnapped princess being held as his prisoner, and soon enough they stage a daring rescue. Matters are complicated as the adventure continues, not so much by perils such as giant fish, ocean battles, and warring nations, but by the Baron's confusion as to why the princess is so entranced by the scientist, rather than an adventurer such as he. This isn't just a case of simple jealousy either, as there comes to be a sort of commentary about the two kinds of adventurers that the Baron and Tonic represent. One more traditional and willing to take risks as he adventures into the unknown, and the other more future-facing, looking at things from a more scientific or analytical perspective. The comparison between the two ideologies doesn't get in the way of the greater story, with much of it focused on the ongoing adventure and travels of the Baron and Tonic. There's really not much to it. Much like the other two films from Zeman that I have seen around here, the primary focus of the story is on discovery and adventure, with events progressing less for the development of characters, and more to continue their journey into new areas. Like the others, it leads the movie to be mostly a series of loosely connected scenes, but unlike those previous films, there's a bit more time spent on the characters after all, primarily the Baron, as we see events from his perspective, with his narration serving as an ongoing commentary as well. It makes it easy for the viewer to understand his confusion with Tonic, without even needing him to defend himself, at least directly. Also, like those other films, the visual style of The Fabulous Baron Munchausen makes a great use of imagination and effects in showing the world and the travels of the characters. Once again, the filmmakers use a combination of visual tricks, from cutouts and stop-motion animation, to working physical models, though this time around there isn't quite a storybook presentation, keeping things more traditionally cinematic in terms of the overall design. It actually feels a bit like early silent film, or at least seems to mimic some of the visual styles and techniques of that era. The film's color design seems to follow this as well, foregoing full color in scenes in favor of monochromatic shots with tinted elements for emphasis. Cinematography is also close to this idea, with long takes and limited movement, though I figure that's more to better integrate the special effects, as was the case in previous films. It might even be worth noting that the effects do at times come with a splash more color than the rest of the world, helping them stand out both in contrast to other characters or elements within the scene, as well as standing out as visual effects in themselves. While it doesn't separate itself from Zeman's other films too distinctly in its use of effects, this overall stylization is still unique and fitting for the world, and with the greater attention given to the Baron and his point of view, the movie doesn't necessarily have to try too hard to capture the greater sense of fantasy, imagination, exploration, and adventure the filmmakers want to achieve. The Fabulous Baron Munchausen, Karel Zeman, 1962. 4.5 stars. I definitely recommend giving this a watch. May as well make it a triple feature with Journey to the Beginning of Time and Invention for Destruction. Anyways, that's it from me. If you liked this review, leave it a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. As always, subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I think this is another one where I'm just repeating myself because the actual movie is so straightforward in its approach that I can't think of anything to comment upon. Either that or I'm making excuses again.